Hey, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Cooking at Home with Chef Jeff. Tonight we're going to be making some Mediterranean mushroom stuffed peppers. So, if you're ready, let's get to it. Alright, so the ingredients are pretty simple for this one. We're going to have a couple of peppers, and I'm going to use a poblano pepper just to experiment with instead of using a traditional green pepper. We have some shaved almonds. We're going to use some feta cheese, Israeli couscous. We're going to use some mushroom broth, excuse me, sour cream, hummus, and some Tunisian spice. And also we have some mushrooms here. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to go ahead and half the peppers. And I've already taken the stem out, but if there are any seeds on the insides or stems on the inside, you want to remove them as well. You'll do that for all the peppers. And then what you want to do is you want to put the half side down, the cut side down, and you want to marinate it with some oil or rub it with some oil and season it with salt and pepper. And then what we're going to do for the mushrooms, we're going to just trim the stems off of the mushrooms. We're going to lay these on the other side of this baking sheet, and we're also then going to coat those with olive oil and season those with salt and pepper. The oven is being preheated at 425, and then we're going to go ahead and put these in and let these bake. So, you know, one of the things that I love about working with Hello Fresh meals is that it doesn't require any great skill in order to make a delicious meal. They give you all the ingredients, and all you really need to do, if you can read and follow a recipe, it comes out really tasting quite delicious. And you know, all these meals that I'm preparing, probably 98% of them I have never prepared before, and so far I am about I think 20 for 20 as far as how my family has been rating them on taste and flavor. So you don't have to be a professional chef. All you need to do is have some patience, be able to read, and follow directions. If you've cooked anything similar to this, or have tried this, I would love to hear some of your comments in the comment section below. And what we're going to do is, now that these are seasoned and oiled, we're going to then bake these for 18 to 20 minutes on the middle rack in the oven. So meanwhile, while that is cooking, you want to take the scallions, you want to cut these up thinly, and then we're going to separate the white from the greens once we're complete. You know, one thing that I love about cooking is for myself, it's very therapeutic. And what I've been finding, the more I'm cooking, one of the reasons why I like it is it encourages my creativity. As some of you know, I was in the video business for 20 years, and so being creative is really right up my alley. So here we go, we've got the whites separated, and we're going to now go ahead and cut up the greens. And once this is complete, we will then dice up the tomato. So now we have the tomatoes cut up. We're going to add them to a small bowl, and we will put a drizzle of olive oil on that, season with some salt and pepper, and toss it, and then we'll set it aside. Alright, so next thing we want to do is we want to melt 1 tablespoon of butter over medium-high heat. Once that's melted, we're going to go ahead and add in the almonds. And we're going to get those toasty brown for about 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, now that these are complete, we're going to go ahead and add in the scallion whites. I'm going to add in 1 cup of Israeli couscous, 2 teaspoons of the Tunisian spice, And then finally, a quick dash of salt. We're going to mix this together, and we're going to cook this for another 2 to 3 minutes. All right, now that's complete. We're going to then add in 1 cup of water and the mushroom stock. We'll mix that up, and we're going to bring this to a boil and let this cook for another 6 to 8 minutes. We want to keep it covered while we're cooking it, and cooking it until it's tender. All right, now this has come to a boil. We're going to lower the heat to a simmer. We're going to cover it for approximately, like I said, 6 to 8 more minutes. All right, now you want to go ahead and take about 4 tablespoons of hummus, put it in a separate bowl. You want to season it with some salt, some pepper. Going to put in the sour cream that was supplied. And the rest of the spice blend. Now, what I love about the Tunisian spice blend, it adds like a really warm Mediterranean flavor to the hummus. So we're going to go ahead and mix that up and set it aside. So as I was starting to mix this up, I totally forgot to add, we want to add water before we mix this and have it become a drizzly consistency. So you can add 1 teaspoon at a time, or if you want to take your luck and just add a little bit, mix it on up. Depends on how much experience you have cooking. But that may do it. We may need a little bit more. That was actually probably about 4 teaspoons I put in there. But we want this to get to a drizzly consistency. And we're not there yet, so we'll add a little bit more water. All right, so it appears that the peppers and the mushrooms are complete. I'm going to go ahead and take these out. I'm going to let these cool a little bit. As soon as the mushrooms become cool enough to handle, we're going to take them up and roughly cut them into small pieces. I got the mushrooms all cut up here, and we're going to take the couscous, uncover it. We're going to heat it up over medium-high heat. We're going to add another tablespoon of butter and keep that on here until it starts to melt. We're going to then add in the mushrooms. And the tomatoes that we started this recipe off with. We're going to do this for about 2 minutes or so. Just enough for the butter to melt and the tomato to get a little bit soft. Alright, it is now time to stuff the peppers. So, you want to grab the peppers. You want to take the filling. Put some filling in here. Just like so. And then you want to put the remaining filling, spread this out on the plate. I call it the base. I don't know if that's the official name, but that's what I'm calling it. I'm going to take the peppers, place them on here like so. You want to top it with some green scallions, some feta cheese, and then finally you want to top it with some of the hummus dressing. Just drizzle that across it all. And there you go. Mediterranean stuffed peppers with mushrooms.